Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Livin' on a Dream, and I am super excited to introduce today's guest. This is my second interview in New York City with another friend from Los Angeles. He is an incredible actor, a writer, a director, an award-winning playwright, and someone that I have been working with since the beginning of my acting career in Los Angeles. So I'm super stoked to introduce to you this man today, Mr. Layon Gray. What's up?
What's going on, Leah? Thank you for having me on your show.
Absolutely. Thanks for fitting me in between all of your plays off Broadway here.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So, the premise of our show is that the best dreams happen when you're wide awake. And you've had quite an impressive journey. I mean, you started off back a little boy in New Orleans, yeah?
Yeah, well, not New Orleans. Everyone always say when people from Louisiana, they're from New Orleans. Alexandria, Louisiana, yeah. So, you know, back home I always wanted to be in the entertainment industry. I always wanted to do some stuff, but I was always considered the strange kid, you know, back at home because I wanted to pursue something like that. And when I finally left, you know, everyone was like, wow, he left and now he's out there doing what he always did when he was young. So
even when you were a child, you kind of started dabbling in theater and everything else?
I can remember wanting to be John Travolta. When he did Grease, you know, I used to do my little chin. I used to love John Travolta, know all the little Grease moves and stuff. Yeah. So in 2000, I moved to LA, you know, as an actor, and then realized I didn't want to. I was being cast as, you know, the gangster and all that type of stuff. Realized that I didn't just want to do that. You know, I always thought my talent could really could do bigger things in other roles. So that's when I decided to start creating my own stuff, start writing my own material. And I did, and I wrote my first play, Meet Me at the Oak, which went on to win several LA Theater Awards, and that's where it all began. But it opened up other opportunities for me to present other works and allow myself to act in.
And now for those people, those actors and writers out there that are watching, it's not an easy process to, I mean, of course we have to write the play, but then it wasn't an easy process to get venues, affordable venues, that are willing to take a chance on a new playwright and allow you to put your shows up there. What was that experience
it's
like?
hard. It's hard as hell. You know what? It's still a struggle. You know, especially being out here in New York, learning so much about how the theater world works, because you know this is New York, land of Broadway and all kind of theater. Most playwrights come in to present their work. But in LA, I was fortunate enough. I was actually cast in a play by the Whitmore Lindleys, where I used to do all my stuff. The owner, his wife, was directing the play, and he came to a rehearsal and say, "Hey, I wrote a play." You know, he said, "Yeah, okay, whatever." You know, well, sure, okay. Everyone in LA has a script in their back pocket, which is what everyone says. But finally, he read it, and he was like, "I love it. I like to put it up."
Nice.
And it happened just that simple. He said, "I'd like to put it up. We don't know what's going to happen." And that's the play I was speaking about earlier, Meet Me at the Oak, that went on. And then he was like, "Wow, it's great. Yeah, well, what else you got? What else you got?" And so forth. And then I was given the opportunity to branch away from him producing. And I was like, "Well, I want to do it myself." And he was like, "Great. I'll give you an opportunity in my space. I'll cut you a deal on the rent, and let's see what happens." And that was in 2001 when all of that started happening, and now it's 2010.
I mean, your relationship, with Whitmore Lindley and the Avery Schreiber and all of them just continued to bloom. You were able to forge a relationship with him where it even got to the point where you allowed me to produce a play in that space because he trusts your judgment so much. He let me produce too.
That's right. Leah produced and directed one of my shows. Did a great job too.
Fascinating.
She rocked it out. Literally rocked it out.
I took Layon's diary, which I love, and I've been in like 5 or 6 different casts and pretty much done every role that there is in that play. And I loved it so much that I asked Leigh if I could then do my own rock and roll version. So it's typically got a lot of old spiritual Negro soul gospel music in the transitions, and I threw Motley Crue and Kicks.
Yeah, when I saw that play, I was like, wow, Leah really rocked it out in that show. It was great. I loved it.
It's fun. It's fun stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and especially in LA, theater doesn't pay anything. So the majority of these pieces, you're not making any money. The actors aren't making any money. The directors, the producers, hopefully the venue's making a little bit of money to keep it going. But the pieces you write are just really deep.
Yeah.
And they really connect not only with the audience, but the actors, because most of your actors come back and work with you again and again and again.
I always say if you write good quality material, people will be willing to do it, you know, pretty much for free. So knowing I ain't have money to pay folks, you know, especially in LA, I was broke as hell, you know, trying to produce a play, you know. I know I would only have enough money to pay the rent. And I was like, well, with that being said, I know I have to make this material as good as it can be so I can entice actors to want to pretty much volunteer to be in it. And I still pride myself on that, you know, defining the characters, making them, you know, deep and conversational. I always say, you know, I like to make all my plays, you know, conversational pieces where, you know, where it's like it's just rolling off your mouth, where people think is improvisation, but it's actually scripted. So I pride myself on writing good material so it would entice actors to be in it.